on. It's 6 o'clock. We are all. I can't see you, Tom, but I know you're on.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on.
Oh, sorry.
So Philippa, the work day's at 2:15?
Yeah, well, 2:15 is when they're gonna start coming. So I like to be there to be ready for them. Yes.
Okay, 2:15 till when?
They usually work until 3:30. It's
Okay,
usually about an hour and a bit, 2:30 to 3:30, or maybe 4 o'clock if she can keep them that long. But remember, these are
Okay.
high school kids.
I did make cookies and Phil said he would drop them off because I'm down in Pennsylvania, won't be back.
Okay, so
But
he's
he'll
gonna
drop them off 2:30. I'll tell him 2:30.
That's
Okay.
fantastic. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for doing that, Denise. Okay, I'm going to declare the meeting open. I have 2 grandchildren here prancing around, so I'm hoping that there will be a little bit of peace and quiet and we can get through this meeting. So, the minutes. Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes of the last meeting?
Pretty
Okay.
much.
Any discussion? Entertain a motion to accept them?
So moved.
Thank you. Second.
Seconded. Second.
Okay. And any discussion, any questions, any changes? Okay, we accept the minutes as written. Fantastic. Moving right along, treasurer's report.
Well, excuse me. I sent out a treasurer's report earlier this week. I've not seen a bill yet from Better View Landscaping, and I know they've done work. So
Yes,
I
they
don't
have.
know why they don't want to get paid, but the last time I checked was Monday, and I didn't check yesterday or today, so there might be something from them. Bartlett did.
Right.
I'm sorry, Philippa?
I think they've mowed twice at least.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead for Bartlett.
Bartlett did some work, and I arranged to have that bill paid. It was $305. I had that taken out of the Friends account. And Philip, I think I may have sent everybody the bill from Bartlett that explained what they did, so that it seemed to me from my reading of it, they treated the yellowwood. It's in the far right corner, and they treated one of the yews near the right entrance.
Only one of them?
Lights. Pardon?
Only one of the yews. The 2 yews that are lower down on the slope are both apparently suffering from too much water and an infection from too much water. And they both, Ryan said he would, he told me about the infection and I said, please treat them as soon as possible. But they only treated one?
Well,
I didn't see this. I'm not sure why I missed it.
it's an attachment in my email.
Okay.
And it just says, well, and there's the number 1, and I don't know whether that's just the rank order of the items and there was only 1 item, or whether it really means 1 yew at the right side entrance treated to prevent or suppress overwintering mites.
Okay.
But at any rate, that reduced the Friends account, the current balance as of Monday in the Friends account is just over $6,600. And in our budget, it's just a little over $1,000. So it's $1,130. Now we should get a bill from Better View.
Right.
But the fiscal year ends in another few weeks.
Right.
May end up with a surplus this year.
We also have our students.
Yes, but they will be in the next fiscal year. I mean, they're not going to start until July, right?
No, he's going to start in June. He's available in June. And
we'll have some then.
Right, and the ad went into the paper for our second student worker, and Crystal just said that we got 3 applications. Now, the one that we had thought we would hire is that young girl who came and was so enthusiastic and positive.
Yeah.
But it's up for grabs, and it's open until June the 10th, and then they will close it. And we can hire them right away, so we can get rid of all of our budget on those workers. I also went out and bought a whole bunch of tools. I haven't billed for it, but I could if we needed to spend that money. I was going to just soak it up, but I could bill. And I know that Sandra went out and bought some chemicals, and so she ought to be reimbursed for that price too. So we will not have any surplus money, John, unfortunately, or fortunately, maybe.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
no,
I
the
think
budget
it's-
is very tight.
Yeah.
There was another town meeting last night because the first budget for next year got turned down by 25 votes.
Right,
And so we all get to vote again next Tuesday.
right.
I know too that the committee's been trying to build the need for extra funds. So if we don't spend our budget, I don't think that's really gonna support our cause.
I know we can spend the budget, Denise.
Okay,
I know in previous years it was kind of fudged, but I think this year there have been several of us who have just kind of soaked up the
well,
expenses because of the budget being so tight. And that doesn't,
yeah, like John, thank you for renewing our affiliation with the Federated Garden Clubs.
right.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, that was very kind.
Philippa, can I ask, do you want to follow up with Bartlett Tree just to make sure all the U's were treated that need to be treated?
I'll follow up with them. Yeah, I'll give Ryan a call because he said he was going to treat it. He gave me he identified he said it was due to excess moisture. And that makes me feel like we really have to address that runoff on the side of the driveway, because that's the water that it's the third U, which is not sick, is much higher up on the bank. If you think about how they're growing, there are two U's that are probably right in that runoff of water. And then there's a third U that's up higher, which is probably why it's surviving and hasn't got whatever this infection is. But I will.
The one
I will
high
ask
up,
him. Tom, yes.
the one high up looks like it's, I mean, it looks pretty bad.
The dwarf one?
Well, I don't know, the one that was by the former birch tree.
Oh yeah, that one. That's the first one. That's low down. There's if you keep walking down the slope,
Right,
the dwarf yew is actually has its roots up higher on the bank.
right.
I mean, it's lower in the walk down the Arboretum, but it's up to the left of that walk down the Arboretum. So it's set in. So I think its roots are probably much higher than the other two yews. But I will ask Ryan about that, and yes, Denise, I will make sure I know about that. He was pretty responsive this time. He went back down. I went and checked and made him go down and take a look at them. And he said he had gone down, and he said what the problem was, and he would treat it. So I will find out. I'm not sure that the first treatment that he gave them was the one that applies to what's happening at the root level. That might sound like something that would be on the leaves.
Yeah.
Right.
Rather than in the roots. And he was
So
talking.
he did testing like a year ago, didn't he? And
Yeah.
when did they, this is the first time they treated it after the testing?
The mites, no, I think they treated it last year once too, Tom.
Oh, okay.
And now,
Yep.
yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Anything else on the budget? Everybody needs to go and vote next Tuesday. Okay, moving right along. Anything that you really want to address, Kristen, because you have to leave in 5 minutes.
No, I'm good.
Um,
Thank you. No,
I-
not 5 minutes.
I thought you said you had.
6:45.
Oh, okay. 6:45. Oh, okay, that's good. And we've got plenty of time. We've even done before you have to leave.
Well, usually we are.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. So tomorrow is the work day at 2:30, and how many people can be there?
I should be able to. I've got a Dr. Dean appointment in the morning, so if I can see by then, I'll be there.
Okay, great. Okay, so that's Kristen, John, and myself, right?
And it's going to be hot, so bring water.
Oh, I think Sandra's coming.
And Sandra too. Excellent.
She just walked into the house, so we can have her confirm before.
Okay. Oh, terrific. She gave me a whole list of additional chores that should be done. I'll add those to the list. Some of them I already had, but she had some extra ones too, so I will add those to the list. My thinking is that we will just, send out 6 kids here, 5 kids there, 8 kids there, and with this many adults, that's 4 adults, we will just take a different area of the Arboretum and take care of it. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, great.
Sounds good.
We've got lots of tools, we've got lots of gloves, we've got lots of cookies. Thank you, Denise. And water, John, is a good idea. Make sure we have water in cups. I'll take care of that. And is it supposed to rain tomorrow?
No, it's supposed to be very hot.
Just
Okay.
very hot.
Okay. Okay, let's hope they dress appropriately. Sandra's list of places to work included warnings about the poison ivy. She actually went down and sprayed a lot of the poison ivy, but it won't be dead yet. So we need to be very alert or alert the kids to it. And have
Yeah,
them-
this is a good year for poison ivy. We've got it all over the place at our house.
We do too. My grandchildren are from California and they don't have poison ivy out there, so that they're not aware of.
Oh,
Yeah.
my.
I tell them, come on in and scrub your legs, scrub your legs, scrub your legs. Okay. That treasurer's report. Trying to think. The next thing we would talk, we have again the 2 workers. I'd asked him to let us know what his hours were, because he has major jobs, and probably the other teenager that we hire will have real work at some point, so that their hours tend to be flexible. And I try to get 2 hours at a time, and I will try to be available to be down there. But if I may have to ask one of you to sort of kind of check in with them when they're down there. And we had talked about working on Tuesday mornings from 10 to 12, anybody who could make it through June and July. And if the kids are available during that time, that would really work well for us. So
That
then
Tuesdays or Thursdays? Did
I
I write
thought
it
it was
down?
Thursday.
Thursday's fine. I'm clearly brain dead right now. Thursdays 10 to 12, right?
Yep.
So if I can get the kids to come at that time, then there will be somebody there to supervise. It all depends on what their job is. If they're waitressing or they're whatever they're doing, I don't know. Sometimes they have to come in the evenings, which makes it a
So
little more.
Philippa, how will the other person, I know Reed is on board, but how will the other person be selected?
Crystal said that once the applications close, we
Okay.
need to schedule a special meeting, which has to have a 48-hour notice. And she recommended that we should meet not on Zoom, but in person, to talk about the applications. And as a group, whoever can make that meeting, read through their applications and make our decision.
Okay.
And
that make
that can be the only thing we talk about.
And it has to be the only thing we talk about. Absolutely right. And it has to be a 48-hour beforehand scheduled meeting just to discuss which person we choose.
Right.
This is what we did 2 years ago when we had both Reed and the gentleman who came. What Phil was his name? What Philip? Was it Phil? Sandra isn't there. It's your neighbor, Tom. 2 houses down from you, towards the
Oh.
lawyer office.
Oh, yeah.
He worked. He was wonderful, but he was exhausted. But he was a great worker.
And
But
they
that's-
attend the meeting?
Sorry.
They attend the meeting as well?
No,
Or
they
not?
don't. They don't attend the meeting. We just review their applications and then make a decision. And then I call them and say, we selected you. Do you still want it? We did not. We did not invite them to come, as I remember last time. Did we?
Which
Do you
I could imagine being a little awkward if they were, so.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. So what we have to, the future chores are going to really depend on what we get done tomorrow. So trying to make a list of what needs to be done will be definitely modified by what we get done tomorrow. Do we have any feedback yet from the Garden Club grant, Kristen?
No, they mid-June decision.
Mid-June, okay. So both applications, whether we get any or either of them, will come in the middle of June. So we have no awareness yet as to what big project we can ask somebody to do, like the whole swamp area. But one of the things that I'm going to have the kids do tomorrow is move the logs out of the swamp so that it's cleared. If we do have, if we are able to go and have that swamp cleaned out, all the invasives taken out, and a possible pool area formed, which would be very nice.
So Philippa, is the other mid-June grant decision the Connecticut Botanical Society or the Last Green Valley?
The Botanical Society.
Okay,
Now we have 3 walks scheduled for the Last Green Valley. They're in September and October. Sandra and maybe Tom with her are going to lead the first one because I will be away. And I'm happy to lead the second 2. I sent in the dates to the Last Green Valley. They will publicize them. We only got 4 people officially for the Woodstock History Day. And we have to give them some feedback as to what we think about it. I think it would be fun to do it again next year, but I think it should happen on a Sunday. I think that Sunday afternoon is probably the better bet than Saturday. And, you know, I know that Jay had suggested we should try and keep both the Historical Society and the Arboretum open on Sunday afternoons through the summer. I wasn't sure. I'm not willing to do it every Sunday afternoon. I wouldn't mind being there maybe once a month or, you know, once every 2 weeks on a Sunday afternoon. How do people feel about that? Do you think it's worth it or not?
No.
I don't,
No.
I mean, how many people does Jay get? Did he tell you?
He got, I think, 6. The Pink
But
House.
on his normal Sundays, I mean, that was a special event that had a
Yeah,
lot of publicity.
I'm not sure he gets anybody on a normal Sunday, John.
Right, well, because he's not open on Sunday afternoon, it's Sunday morning. So that's really not a very convenient time.
It's a terrible
It's the
time.
afternoon.
Sunday afternoon would be a much more reasonable time. I
Right,
mean,
Sunday
That's when he's
afternoon is-
open.
I'm
He's got
sorry?
the flag out every Sunday afternoon.
Really?
Many
Well,
Sunday
maybe
afternoons.
that's a change then, because last year when I talked to Elaine, she said it was Sunday mornings, which I thought was not a good time. So,
yeah, the Pink House had the most visitors, and I'm not quite sure how many she had. I didn't think Lori counted them all up, but I went over there because we closed early because no one was coming, and it was raining. And our last person to come and do the tour said he was not going to come because it was raining. But
There
Lori,
she is.
I see you, Sandra. Thank you for your list of chores. And I was just brought up to speed that in fact our work day is tomorrow, and not
Oh,
as
it's tomorrow? Oh. Okay, let me see.
not
if
as I
have it.
thought, which was the 6th. I thought it was Friday, and then I thought it was the 13th. I was clearly out in left field.
That's okay, let me just see. What time is it tomorrow?
They usually they leave out of the school around 2:15, but they usually get there somewhere between 2:15 and 2:30.
I'm good, I can be there.
Excellent, thank you.
2:30, 2 o'clock, you think?
2:15 it's good.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So what do you think about having an official opening in conjunction with the Historical Society? Good, not good, thumbs up, thumbs down?
You'd have to bring a good book. I mean,
Thumbs down from Kristen, a good book from John. Okay,
I think it'd be tough to, I mean, it's, you know, go sit there for 2 hours or whatever. I mean, you can't just be there for 10 minutes.
right.
Unless you
Yeah.
say there's going to be a tour every Sunday afternoon at whatever, 1:30, 2 o'clock. And then nobody shows up by 2:15 or 2:30, you go on about your business, but.
Yeah.
Um,
But I don't think we should offer tours that frequently, quite frankly.
no, maybe like the first Sunday or something that people could remember, like the first Sunday, the Arboretum is open in conjunction with the Historical Society that's open every Sunday.
Okay, that would be fine. I wouldn't mind doing one tour, you know? It's a question of we would need to advertise that somewhere. the last Green Valley doesn't really start its Walktober until end of September. I suppose it could be advertised through Woodstock Recreation, because they advertise for the month. It's too late to advertise in June for the first Sunday. We could do it for maybe the last Sunday. Graduation is coming up very quickly, and that kind of blows everybody's minds in Woodstock. I think I'm getting a definite no from the committee. Lack of enthusiasm, and that's fine. I will tell Jay that this is something that we can talk about for maybe next year, but this year is a no. Would that be correct?
Yep.
I
Yeah.
don't see it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I just.
We ought to think about, is there a month in the year or a time in the year when the Arboretum is particularly attractive? When do some set of flowers bloom or something like that, and then plan that's a time we will offer tours.
Okay.
I agree with that, because right now it's beautiful. I mean, it really is nice with the dogwoods. It's
Mhm.
gorgeous.
So we
And-
should be getting the word out in June for June.
Yeah, May
Yeah, I
and
think
June
trying to do
maybe.
something in June would make next year would make
Right.
more sense because it's very appealing.
Right. Okay. I have
Was
that.
there, I didn't get over there much last month, but was there another time? You were over there more. Is there another time that in May that is, like the viburnums blooming and?
Mm-hmm. Things were kind of patchy this year, actually, in May. Some things were lovely. The flowers were lovely, like the daffodils and the peony trees were lovely. But several of the trees that should have been blooming, once again, were not looking so great this spring. Was
And I
a
think earlier in the spring it's harder to get it mowed that early, so it looks a little rougher,
right. The apple trees up in the parking area were gorgeous when they were in bloom before that heavy rain came and knocked them all down. But they were beautiful. So that was like an early time. But it's almost with the fluctuations in the weather, it's almost like go now, you have to say, because it's gorgeous, and then 3 days later the wind has come or the rain has come and it's gone. And I don't know how we get a go now voice out there. Any thoughts, techno geeks?
Didn't we have it wasn't that young girl talk about social media and getting our Facebook page up and running again? That would be a go now. I would think we should maybe talk to some of the young kids or her and just say, what do we need to do to get that up and running? I mean, I can do a little bit of posting. I've done that before, but I would need, it's probably Denise's more her realm, content, just what do we do? That would be a good vehicle for us to get word out.
Well, in the town, we were posting some things on the town page, like photos from work days and that sort of stuff. So that might be the best way to do it, because we are a town committee.
Mm.
We ought to look at the email alerts that the town sends out, that there's several email distribution lists or different distribution topics. And if it's one that makes sense for recreation kinds of things, and the garden looks particularly nice, we could ask Crystal about using that distribution list to say, come visit the Arboretum. The dogwoods are gorgeous. There will be a tour on such and such a day.
That's a great idea, John. If she would do that, that's a terrific idea.
Yeah.
Because that's, oddly enough, that was one of the topics in the town meeting last night, was how do you find out about stuff? And Crystal did a little commercial for that email distribution list.
Does it go to
Okay.
everybody or do you have to sign up for it?
You have to subscribe, and there are topics. So you can subscribe for everything or urgent alerts, or then there's some topical subject matter things. For example, you can sign up for, and you may have to come to the Arboretum page to do that, but you can sign up for the various committees so that you get their agendas and email and minutes.
Hmm.
Okay, I like the idea if she has, you know, that alert, come to the Arboretum, the dogwoods are gorgeous, and there will be a tour.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think that's a really nice idea of getting the communication out, but I just, who does that go to? Just the people who've signed up? Is that what I heard?
So anybody that has, you have to have signed up, you have to have subscribed for that distribution.
And how much does it cost to subscribe?
Nothing.
Nothing. So when you say you subscribe, you just have to sign up basically, and you could
Yeah,
get
you
there.
go to, there's a link on the Woodstock, Connecticut, woodstockct.gov website. You have to do a little navigation to find it, but then
Okay.
there's a form to fill out, put in your email address and pick the topics you're interested in, and you'll get added to the list.
Oh, that's terrific.
So if we did that and did our Facebook page, that
Mhm.
might cover a few more. I mean, you could send out the same message to both.
To both,
Yep.
absolutely. But that would be sort of the kind of appropriate thing for being a garden, being an arboretum, because things, are in bloom, and they're in bloom for a week or a few days,
Yeah.
Yep.
and you don't know when because the weather changes. So something that we can be much more responsive to us and to the arboretum would be great. I love that.
And I don't know what Crystal's process is, but I can find out for, she's probably got some process to, you send her something and then she tees it up and off it goes.
Okay.
And I don't know whether she has to get Chan's approval or, anything like that. There'd be some of that, but I can find that out.
Find
So
that out.
can you find out also about the Facebook page as well as the email?
It was,
Cool.
and yeah, that would be great to add that. I mean, I did it before and just sent it to Crystal and just asked her, usually sent a picture and a little blurb and said, could you post it? And she did within typically a couple of days.
Okay.
But can we post ourselves to the Facebook page or do we have to wait? Is
We
there?
have to go through to the town Facebook page to go through her,
Right.
to go through
Yep.
the town.
Yeah. It has
So
to go
So the Palmer Arboretum doesn't have our own Facebook page.
No,
There is an
Oh, so we have
Arboretum
to go through the
Facebook page.
I thought we did.
there is one.
Yes, but it hasn't been up, nothing's been posted for 2 or 3 years. So I
Oh,
don't know
didn't
who
even
owns
know
it.
I don't know either.
It's not connected to the town, Kristen?
I don't know.
I'll take a look right now while you guys are talking.
The last time it was Bill Brower and a meeting and awards or something like that. So that's the sort of the right age
Yeah,
period,
it's
a
a
couple years ago.
nonprofit. It's got 386 followers. I'm following it. Let's see.
List the administrator?
It's
Who's the
woodstockconnecticut.gov is the
Who's the
administrator.
administrator?
woodstockconnect.ct.gov.
So
Ah.
that's the
No,
town.
that's the link.
Isn't that the town?
Yeah, so we
It
should
is,
ask
but
them.
it might be, there might be a link to the town, but
It's
the
a link to the
administrator
town.
of the Facebook page may be somebody different.
Yeah,
How-
because when I did a bunch of stuff for Old Sturbridge Village and I got permission to go on and be kind of like an admin on their Facebook page while we were doing this event. And I posted all kinds of stuff and, they can grant you that.
Okay.
But
John, sorry.
I don't know. So it just depends on what the process is.
When you go and talk to Crystal, John, could you ask her about that to see if one of our committee could take that over? Or if we could have a designated person doing that for us and can just add stuff? Or do we have to go through the town? Because my understanding was we had to go through the town to get stuff on the Facebook page, but maybe we don't.
Well, if it sounds
I-
like we're talking about two separate Facebook pages, one for the
Right.
town, and you do have to go through Crystal for that, and one that says Arboretum. And
Yeah,
that
because
could be,
it's link, the Arboretum's page link is Woodstock CT Palmer Arboretum. So it looks like it is somehow
Yeah.
connected to the town.
Sandra, can you tell who the administrator is?
No. No.
I do that. I'm not.
Well, you could probably check with some of the former members if it's nobody current.
It
I
does
mean-
say this page can have multiple admins.
Yeah, it does, but it doesn't say who's adminning it now. It could be nobody.
And then what happens to that? It's floating out there in space, and so anybody can post, or
Well, anybody can post on it. You just can't administer it. You definitely want to, but nobody has been. It was created February 21st, 2017. So not much information. So if we find out more, maybe we can pick it up.
it sounds like it's. I need to call Bill and find out, because he would have been in charge of the Arboretum at that point.
yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me give him a call.
So another thing you might consider doing is the Quiet Corner Garden Club has a monthly newsletter and a Friday and a every Friday email. So I would think that anything going on at the Arboretum would be of interest to Garden Club members. They do have stuff that is not exactly Garden Club. For example, recently they were, I don't know if advertising is the word, but announcing the Woodstock Business Expo. So they would include that if it was sent in to them.
And what are the parameters for that, Noreen? When do they have to get the information, and who does it go to?
I can find that out. I don't know. I don't, generally post anything, but they have like a regular deadline. I don't remember the dates, but
Mike Rads
But-
or Lynette Lepper are the co-presidents,
Ye-
and they're,
yes, but
There
they're
may
not
be a-
they're not the ones running the emails though.
no,
So
that's the communications or marketing team.
right, I don't remember
whatever.
who it is, but I can figure that out. If you're interested, I mean, if we have anything to announce,
Well, it sounds like yeah, it sounds like another channel to use for that every Friday. That's fantastic, particularly if you're going to lead a walk on the weekend. You know,
right, it would be perfect.
walk on Sunday afternoon. It would be a great way of getting it out. John and Kristen, you're both garden club members. Do you know who runs that?
I am not.
I can't remember.
Oh, sorry, Kristen. I always give
No.
you a garden club membership because you're a great gardener, so I just assume you are.
My mother was. I am not.
Okay. John, you have any idea who that could be?
No, I can't remember who it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a garden club member too. I just don't remember who
Right.
runs the newsletter,
Okay.
but it's easily found out.
Okay.
It's not like a secret.
Okay. Now, Elaine Turner is not the president of the garden club anymore?
No,
No, she's not.
she's not. There are co-presidents, Lynette Lepper and Mike Redzilowicz.
Oh,
Actually, I think they're co-vice presidents. I think
Actually, they're each a vice president. We don't have a president.
there's no formal president. It's kind of weird.
just a vice-filled club, huh? Ah, okay. Well, that sounds like some great ideas to get out information, immediate information, which would really, I think, help in advertising and promoting us.
Right.
On an immediate
An-
basis. That-
Another idea for next year in terms of a walk, and if there are enough in the Arboretum, would be like a spring ephemerals walk. That would probably be like early May or very late April.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have enough spring ephemerals to make a walk, but it's definitely something that people might be interested in, I think.
Yeah, we've talked about planting more spring ephemerals, right? Some of the things that you're starting, Kristen, would they qualify as spring ephemerals?
No, mine are summery.
Summer ephemerals. Okay.
Summer perennials.
Okay. How about the things that you've been putting in there, Sandra? We've been bringing
Yeah,
in a lot of.
the hellebores would be spring. And there are some epimediums which are spring. I don't know about, the witch hazel would be a
Right.
nice one. That's blooming in spring. But we can, of course, we didn't spend a lot of time there. It was raining so much.
Yeah. I
But
mean, the silver bells.
we can certainly look at that as, once we get it cleaned up a little, because, we're having at it right now. The hosta garden really didn't get taken over as much as I thought it was going to, so it looked nice.
Yeah.
But the other garden, and I didn't mention it in the notes, the other garden does have some nice May apples on it, and that's getting kind of overtaken a little bit too. But having the kids weed,
Mhm.
I just don't feel like it works well. I think the mulching works good and ripping out, but weeding, they
Right.
just tromp everything.
Yeah.
The
But
lily
May apples
garden.
were lovely. Sorry, Tom, go ahead.
Well, I took a quick run over there before the meeting, and looked like the lily garden is, there's a lot of nice lilies in there, but it needs to be weeded though, and I don't know if that's on the schedule for.
Well,
tomorrow.
I put that in there for
Oh, okay.
weeding. But again, there wasn't a lot of poison ivy in there. I was
Mm.
trying to make sure that we, like where you wanted the kids to pull out the logs, there's a lot of hidden poison ivy kind of coming up in there. So it would be, I just don't want to send the kids in, and right now it's just an easy time for everybody to get it. It's flowing thick, so want to kind of keep the kids out of it. But if they can move mulch, I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah, they can certainly do that. We've got a whole new load of wood chips, so we got lots
Yeah.
of wood chips, which is great.
Did you see all of those? I couldn't
haven't
believe
seen-
he showed up.
That's terrific. I'm just so grateful. I also get a little nervous again that we're focusing on the perennials, the flowers, the plants, and we're an arboretum. We really
Right.
should be focusing on when the trees are there to look at, when they're in
Oh,
the
right now the trees. I took a bunch of pictures. Right now is the best time. The smoke bush is in full bloom.
Yeah.
Which,
And
and it
that's-
looks gorgeous.
The yellow
That's
one.
what I'd like us to be talking about is when the trees,
Yeah, and
like
the
Carolina silver
Japanese
bells were in
snowdrop,
boxes.
I think,
the
is
dogwood.
blooming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one looks beautiful. I didn't even know that I didn't even see that. I know it's not a tree, but the mountain laurel. The thing is about 30 feet tall. And it's spectacular.
It should be coming in right now. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all of the blossoms are tight and they're going to be popped pretty soon.
I missed
I mean,
that.
that's what I would really like for us to be pushing is, this is an arboretum. This is, I mean, we've got all these lovely little plants growing there too, but we want to really talk for the trees.
Yeah, well, I think we can pick tree definitely this time of year. And then earlier to what Noreen was saying, when the crab apples are blooming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can pick those bloom times, and then we can plant other plantings that support that so that there's more to be seen.
That's good. Yeah.
But your primulas I know it's not a tree, but those are all still blooming.
Yeah, they go on
What?
blooming for a long time. They will stay blooming and just piling up and higher and higher and higher. They just are gorgeous. Okay. Anything else that we should be talking about right now? Now we do have 5 minutes more for Kristen before she has to leave.
I just have one question, which is there any place where anyone would want few like regular milkweed planted? I have a lot of little seedlings that I planted that I grew over the winter. So like 20 or something. If anyone's interested, if there's a sunny spot that but I don't know if that like fits in with plans. It's kind of informal.
It definitely fits in that spring area, Noreen, but we haven't heard about that grant. Did you guys talk about it before I get here?
Both
No,
mid-June.
middle of June.
Yeah, because if we clean it out, putting milkweed back in would be great. I'd
Be
hate to put it in.
fantastic.
Yeah, but I hate to put it in right now if we get the grant. So if we can wait a
Right.
couple of weeks, Noreen.
Oh, okay,
Maybe-
sure. I don't need to do anything with it now. I'll just
Yeah.
make sure I keep it watered, but I planted a couple of pods late last fall, and it looks like almost every one of them came up. I planted a bunch, I gave away a bunch.
What
Each of
kind-
those little seeds is so tiny. So
What kind of milkweed
Um,
is it? There are several different.
it's just that common, that pink purple one, that one, the one that needs full sun.
Mhm. Well, as
So.
Sandra said, that would be a great place for it, but let's see if we can get it cleaned out first. And then
I can hold off, but I just wondered if you would be interested, that's all.
I think very much so, yes. That's the kind of garden we would love to have down in that swamp area. Yeah, thank you.
Well,
Thank you
now,
for
this
the-
isn't swamp milkweed, but it'll probably do as long as it's not
No,
too wet.
you can put it up on the edges there, you know?
Okay, yeah, that would work. Milkweed is a weed. Seriously, it grows anywhere, as
Um,
long as there's sun.
Right. Any other thoughts? Concerns, questions? Did I miss anything on the agenda that we need to cover? I think we're all good. So I will see some of you tomorrow, 2:15, 2:30. Protected against sun, heat, and poison ivy.
I'll bring
Right.
Techno.
And ticks.
Oh, and
Antics.
great.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
all very
you.
much. Have a great evening.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, goodbye.
Bye.